And then I would say the most favorite thing that I've tried recently that I am literally obsessed with this product. I have to really force myself not to use it. Welcome to another episode of Speed Reviews. So periodically here on my channel, I like to do a kind of review style video where I go through a bunch of products that I have been thoroughly testing for about the last month or so, and I give you little kind of quick reviews on them. I don't have a whole ton of products, to be honest with you, so this will kind of be a quick speed reviews for once. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Rachel, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. Let's get to reviewing some products that I've been testing lately. All of the products that I'm talking about, I will link down in the description box below. I will also list what I am wearing on my face, and I am wearing some of these products, so I will pop in clips of me applying them so you can see them in action. In this video, I review things that are not eyeshadow palettes. I do a separate video ranking my newest eyeshadow palettes that should be coming shortly after this video, and so I do that in a completely separate video. So this is everything except eyeshadow palettes, and the way that I like to do it is I like to separate them into 4 categories. The first category is yes, yes, yes. These are the things that are so good. They are, I guess you could say, my monthly favorites. There are things that I would recommend, things that I love, things that are really good and worth the money. The second category is good but not great, which is pretty self-explanatory. It means things that are good but not great.
Duh.
Things that are good maybe aren't like my absolute favorites. Maybe there is a slight caveat to them that is kind of taking them down a notch, but I will of course let you know why I feel this way about them. The next category is meh. Things that are kind of middle of the road, take them or leave them. They're not terrible, but they're not like great. They're just kind of okay products. And so yeah, they're meh. And then the final category is, it's gonna be a no from me, dog.
It's definitely a no for me, dog. The voice is just not.
These are products I don't recommend. These are things that I didn't enjoy, things that I don't think you should even waste your money on. So let's get to the products that I tested this past month. If you enjoy this type of video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy makeup content, I would love if you would consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Okay, we are gonna start off with the yes, yes, yes category. These are things that I am loving, I can't stop using. You have to know about them. So the first one is the Unearthly Cosmetics Incandescence Highlighter. I have mine in the shade Basque. So this is a liquid highlighter. I am not typically a liquid highlighter person by any means. I much prefer a powder highlight overall, but this one I feel like is special. First of all, it is incredibly easy to use. I don't feel like it's too liquidy to the point where it's like really hard to put the amount of product that you need. And I also don't feel like it's super dry and hard to blend out and patchy and clumpy. It is that perfect middle of the road, more serum consistency. So I think that's super unique. It's very easy to use. You only need a tiny bit to get the look that you may need. I'm wearing it on my face today. I also like that it does not remove anything that I put underneath, like concealer or foundation, because a lot of liquid highlighters, in my experience, maybe it's me, maybe I'm doing it wrong, completely possible, but this one is just easy to use, which is what I need. And I love that it is a very unique look. Now, this is a glittery look. It is glittery. If you're looking for just like a barely there, very subtle highlight, which usually I am, this is not what you want. But I love how different and fun and unique it is. If you're looking at it straight on just in the component, it looks yellow, but as you move it, you can see that there is pink sparkles. And I feel like when it's on my cheeks, you're really mostly seeing the pink sparkles. It does not have a base to it, so it doesn't look like a stripe on the skin. And that's what I think is really special about it. I don't love highlighters that have a super deep base, that have a big cast. This one just looks like I'm walking by and it's like, ooh, she's sparkling. Like I'm just like a fairy, you know, just sweating sparkles. That's kind of the vibe it gives me, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm definitely considering next time I place an order on their website to pick up another shade of this because I really love it. I've been fully enjoying it. I've been reaching for it a lot, especially for a liquid highlighter that is really surprising to me. Another product in the yes, yes, yes category that I am wearing on my lips today is the ColourPop So Juicy Plumping Lip Gloss. I have mine in the shade Lizzie, and this is from the Lizzie McGuire collection. This is one of the things that I got in one of my ColourPop mystery boxes. I will link all of my ColourPop mystery boxes unboxing videos down below in the description box if you're interested. I had never tried this formula before. It's just one of these very nostalgic packaging, like this reminds me of my childhood, this like glittery, sparkly, clear gloss with the squeezy tube, with this kind of applicator at the top. It's very nostalgic, but I actually really, really like this gloss. The smell is very nice. It's kind of fruity. It's not overwhelmingly scented, but it's pleasant. It is definitely, I would say, a pretty strongly plumping feeling, like not burning, but cooling and icy. If you don't like that type of feeling, you wouldn't like this, but it's definitely not uncomfortable to me. I quite like plumping glosses, burning and icy. I like them both. And I also really like the applicator. Now I know it is kind of childish looking, I guess, but I like the fact because it's a clear gloss, I don't like when a clear gloss has a doe foot applicator because I feel like each time I use it, even if I wipe it off and I put it back into the component, there is color that's being deposited inevitably into the clear gloss. This one I feel like is so easy either just to squeeze out, put some on my finger and tap it on my mouth, or if I'm on the go, I can just go like this, take a tissue, wipe it off, and none of the color gets into the clear gloss. So that is something I really, really like. And then the next thing is that I was unsure about. Looking at this, there's definitely visible glitter in it, but once it's on the lips, I don't feel like you can see the glitter at all. Like I can look really up close. I don't see the glitter at all. It just looks super shiny, super glossy. It's not sticky, but it's definitely a thicker formula. Like it's not oily and thin, but I really love how it looks. I love how it feels. I love the longevity. I just love everything about this gloss. I highly recommend this gloss. And then I would say the most favorite thing that I've tried recently that I am literally obsessed with this product. I have to really force myself not to use it. It is the Natasha Denona My Dream Cheek Trio. I love this cheek trio. I think it is unbelievable. Even for its high price point, I think it is very much well worth the price. And I like all three things in it, which is great for such an expensive item. I really, really love this blush. Now, it's supposed to be a cream blush, but I would say that it is a very powdery cream. It is the most unique texture of any cream blush that I've ever tried. It's really, really powdery. You know, when you're touching it, it literally feels like a powder blush, but there is no kickback, there's no powderiness to it. Does that make any sense? Probably not. With that being said, you can really go ham and really be reckless with it and just really go crazy. And it's not easy to go overboard. There isn't patchiness. There isn't removal of product underneath. Really beautifully easy to blend. And the color of this is so incredibly unique. It is a straight up neutral rose. I feel like it goes with any look, which I think is perfect for travel. No matter what kind of look you may be doing, I feel like this is going to match. Honestly, it is just the right amount of buildable. It's not overly pigmented, but it's not so sheer that it takes forever to build up. I just cannot rave enough about this blush. I really can't. Now, the highlighters are also absolutely gorgeous. I would say this Glow Cream base is the product that I've used the least, but I do like to use it underneath the powder highlighter when I have an especially long day where I'm doing my makeup in the morning. I want it to last all day, all night. This is a great way to kind of let the powder highlighter grip to something. So I love that, but I've also been using this powder highlighter on its own and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's definitely very shiny, very wet looking. For my skin tone, I think it's absolutely perfect. I just love this. I love this. I love this. If you've been thinking about it, especially hopefully I get this out before the Sephora sale is over, highly recommend this cheek trio. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to the good but not great category. And this is my biggest category, where it's the category with the most products. I also picked up another blush and highlighter palette recently. This one I don't like as much. So this is the Patrick Ta Major Headlines Blush and Highlight Palette Volume 2, very long name. I love Patrick Ta, okay? If you've been here before, you know that. Listen, I love Patrick Ta. I love the brand. Okay, so as soon as they said that they were releasing another one of these palettes, I immediately impulse bought it without even thinking, without even researching. I just bought it. I don't regret the purchase, but I do like the original one more, and I'll tell you why. These blushes, let's start with the blushes, they definitely have a visible glitter to them. Pretty shimmery, which is not my favorite. I don't hate it, but I prefer a matte blush, or if I'm gonna have like glow in my blush, I prefer it to not be like actual glitter particles. With that being said, I actually really like the powder blushes, especially this one in the middle. It's called Giving Sun-Kissed, and I totally get why he's calling it that, because it definitely mimics a sunburn, if you will. Just like I went to the beach and I'm flushed and all of that type of look. It is a super unique, kind of like warm pink with like a slight red to it. I don't know, it's really beautiful. This is also really pretty. I'm not one for like a super cool tone pink blush, but I still really like this blush. I do like how it looks on me. When I wear these blushes, I definitely don't feel like I need to wear a highlight because they give, like I said, definitely a big shine to the cheek as it is, but the pigmentation is nice. I would say they're not super pigmented, but they're buildable, and I do like that. Now, the cream parts of this, I don't really like them. They're very glittery and they're very sheer. So they don't have a lot of pigment. They're more like glossy with a slight wash of color and glitter. Not my favorite, to be honest with you, not my favorite. I prefer in the Volume 1 palette, the cream blushes were a lot more pigmented and they weren't shiny, they didn't have glitter in them. So just keep that in mind. I mean, if you like a glossy cheek with a light pigmentation, you might like that. And then the highlighter, I do like this powder highlighter. I think it's pretty. It is a little bit more on the textured side. It's not super smooth, but it is pretty and I like it and I will continue to use it. And then this is just a straight up gloss with absolutely no base color. It's just like putting Vaseline on the cheeks, which I used to do when I was a teenager. I would put Vaseline on my cheeks. So I get like the editorial vibe of it. It's kind of his thing. Not really my thing. I don't really use that part at all. So I would say for the price point, I don't know that I love this. I much prefer this cheek trio over this if you were deciding between the two. But of course, based on your preferences, you might like this one more. So I do like the powder blushes. This one in particular, I really like. This is pretty nice. The cream products, not my favorite. So it's going in the good but not great category. Okay, I have 2 eye primers to talk about. I have been loyal and faithful to my Urban Decay Primer Potion in the anti-aging version for years. That's just what I've been using. But I was curious to try something that had a slight tint to it because the one I have from Urban Decay is pretty much completely clear. So I picked up a tinted eye primer from Rare Beauty. So this is the Rare Beauty eye primer. I think that's just what, yeah, it's called the Rare Beauty eye primer. So I like this because it is tinted. I really like the applicator. It's kind of like a triangle. I don't know, it deposits just the right amount onto my eye. It's incredibly easy to blend out and it does give a slight tint to my lids. I think the tint is, for my skin tone, absolutely perfect. It doesn't look artificial. It just cancels out all the redness or the veins on my eyelids. Now, it's okay. I definitely think that it is a little dry on my aging eyelids. I know I'm not old, but I definitely do have texture on my eyelids. I definitely do have wrinkles on my eyelids. I don't think this is super forgiving. And I feel like I have to be sure and think about which eyeshadow formula I'm using this with. Like if I have a super powdery, more dry formula, I don't think that this really works very well because it pretty much dries down completely. Like there's no tackiness to it. So it's okay. It's just one of those ones that it's not super easy to use. So this I like when the shadows are more like creamy shadows, a little more emollient, stuff like that. So yeah, this is just ever so slightly drying on me. It's not bad. I like it. It's good. But I would say if you have dry eyelids, I don't know that you would love this one. So now if you have dry eyelids and you use this and you like it, please let me know in the comments. I'm only just assuming. I don't have dry eyelids, but I do have textured eyelids. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. But it's a good primer. I like it. I will continue to use it. Another eye primer that I got actually in the ColourPop mystery box is the ColourPop Party Proof Eye Primer. So when I first used this in the unboxing video, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Now, I think that had partially to do with the eyeshadow palette. I was using it with the Twist of Slate palette, and that palette, the shades are extremely powdery, extremely dry, extremely lightly pigmented. So I'm kind of going to say what I said about the Rare Beauty with this, but even more extreme. So I found that I enjoyed this with very, very, very creamy metallic shadows. This literally feels like cement. Like, it feels like straight up cement. It's thick, it's heavy, it's pretty gross feeling. I'm not gonna lie. And you're probably saying, Rachel, then why are you putting this in the good, not great category? Well, I think it would be good for some people. I think it would be good if you have very oily eyelids. I think this would be really nice. And I've really been enjoying this. I recently tried the Tiny Marvels palette from Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson. Those metallic shadows are so creamy, like so creamy. And when I used my Urban Decay Primer Potion with those shades, they creased on me quite a lot. I don't usually have a problem with creasing, but they creased on me a lot. Then I tried it with this, and I felt like they lasted really, really nicely. They didn't crease. So I feel like this is great if you have oily eyelids, crease-prone eyelids, or if you are using like a very, very, very creamy shadow and you want to make sure it doesn't crease as much as possible. Of course, it's not gonna work miracles, but I've been enjoying this for those type of shadows, or like my Adept shadows, those really extra creamy shadows. So yeah, it's good. It's good for those moments. Okay, I have a couple of lip products to talk about. So another one that I got in a ColourPop mystery box. I think I got this one in my first one, but I'm finally getting around to using it. This is the ColourPop Luxe Velvet Liquid Lipstick. This is in the shade Dance Off. Now, I don't think that this particular shade is available anymore. It is a very, very, very light, cool toned pinky purple shade, which I think is kind of unique. I like to use this when I line my lips and then just pop this in the middle to give like a little pouty, kissy, pouty effect. I really like this formula. I think it's really nice, especially for a liquid lipstick. It's not drying. It's more of a velvety, a little bit thicker of a formula, and I like the color, but the formula overall is really comfortable. It's really nice. I'm not putting it in the yes, yes, yes category because honestly, overall, I'm probably never gonna reach for a liquid lipstick as my first choice. Like, I prefer a lip gloss, I prefer a moisturizing lip product, even a bullet lipstick, even a matte bullet lipstick, I prefer over a liquid lip, just because comfort-wise, it's not my favorite, look-wise, it's not my favorite. But for a liquid lipstick, I think this is really, really nice. So I like this formula. Of course, you can't get the shade anymore as far as I know, but if you've been thinking about it, it's a good formula. Okay, this one would be in the yes, yes, yes category, except for one thing. So this is the AF94 Give 'em Lip High Shine Lip Gloss. I have mine in the shade Honey, I'm Home. I've used quite a bit of it. I've reached for this one a lot. This is a great purse lip gloss for me. It's a warm nude, which is my go-to. It's my favorite. Goes over pretty much any lipstick, lip liner that I like to wear as a nude. So it's super versatile in that way. It has absolutely no sparkle to it. It's just like a milky, lightly to mid-level pigment gloss. It's very affordable. I like the applicator. It's kind of a standard paddly doe foot type of thing. And yeah, I like it. The only thing I don't love and I wish was different about this is I wish it had a good scent to it. It's completely unscented, which this is just a preference thing. I really like when glosses have like a yummy scent, especially because they're going near your mouth and they're right under your nose. And even when things are unscented, they have a scent to them, if you know what I mean. You know, they have that kind of plasticky, chemically scent. It's not bad. It's nothing that makes me not want to use the product. Obviously, I've used it, but I would like it if it was like had a little bit of a fruity scent or like a baked goods scent, anything yummy like that. I would really like it. Of course, I would prefer it to have no scent rather than a gross scent, but yeah. That's the only thing I would change about it. This is a really good drugstore gloss. I've been enjoying it. It's definitely more kind of like the So Juicy gloss from ColourPop. It's more of a thicker gloss, but not sticky. It coats your lips really well, makes them look very glossy. So I've been enjoying this one a lot. Okay, now we're into the meh category. Let's start off with a couple of things that I got from the ColourPop mystery box. So these are the ColourPop color sticks. I have mine in the shade Coffee Shop and Happy Days. So the Coffee Shop one is a matte, like reddish brown color, and the Happy Days one is a metallic. Now, metallic to me is a little bit of a stretch. The metallic one is like, has a base to it, but has a little bit of a sparkle throughout it. It's not super metallic or anything like that. I kind of like the matte one. I don't love to use it necessarily as an all over eyeshadow. It's just not my thing. It's not something that I really ever like to do. I prefer just like eyeshadows if I'm gonna do that. But I have been enjoying using this in my waterline. I do like to use these types of products in my waterline because you can get in the waterline and then it slightly can spill over into your lash line and then you have something nice to blend out, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? I know what I mean, but I don't know if I conveyed that very well. And this one in the waterline looks very red, like very, very red, which is okay. It's not my most favorite thing. I don't love red in my waterline. I feel like I look sick, but I've been making this work and it's been okay. Now, this one, no. I tried to do that same application with this metallic one, and I'm definitely glad I didn't scratch my cornea or like ruin my eyesight because I immediately felt the glitters like scratching the shit out of my eyes. I do not recommend using a metallic one in your waterline because it definitely irritated my eyes right away. I went and washed it out right away. And then one time I did use this all over my eyelid and I just really didn't like how it looked. It just didn't look good. I don't know what else to say about it. It's not metallic enough to look metallic, but it's not pigmented enough to look matte. So it's kind of just weird looking. I don't know. They're not bad, but they're just not for me. All right, another product that is just meh is the Patrick Ta Major Brow Defining Pencil. I have mine in the shade Medium Brown. It is what I'm wearing in my brows today. So I'm putting this in the meh category because it's a good brow pencil. It's fine. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It has a spoolie on one side. It has the brow pencil on the other. Now, I don't love the shape of this. It's more of like an oval shape, not like my favorite shape for a brow pencil. I prefer just like a very precise brow pencil or even like the ABH brow definer that's a little bit bigger and thicker, but I just find that this is a little awkward to use. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. The color on this is really nice, but for the price point, I don't think it's worth the money. Like, I feel like it performs just like a good drugstore version, or even like I prefer the ABH Brow Wiz because it has that more defining point and the color is good. The formula on this is good. I would say it's a little more on the creamier side, so if you like that, you might like this, but I just don't think it's worth the price point. The packaging is not especially luxe, like it doesn't feel heavy or anything like that. So I would say it's fine. It's not bad, but it's fine. Okay, and then we're down to the it's gonna be a no for me dog category. So there are 3 products in this category. The first one I actually don't have with me. It's out. I forgot to grab it, sorry. But I'm gonna pop up a picture on the screen. So this is the Kopari Lip Cloud. When I bought this, I was so excited. I had done like a haul and I was testing a bunch of makeup on camera and I thought for sure this was going to be my favorite product that I tried. I don't like it. It is the weirdest consistency. So lip cloud, right? You think lip cloud, you think like soft, fluffy, like pillowy. No. It's not an oil, but it's very liquidy and it has a slight grit to it, which maybe that's good for exfoliation, but I don't really love the feeling of it. It might be okay for like sleeping while, you know, you put it on before you go to bed, but I had been using it during the day and I really didn't enjoy the feeling of it on my lips. And then what's more is that I actually feel like when I use it, when it comes off my lips feel even drier than they did before I put it on. And I don't have a problem with dry lips. I live in a very humid climate. I very rarely have chapped or dry lips, knock on wood. I just really don't feel like it did much for me, and especially for the price point, I feel like there's so many better lip treatments out there. I just don't think it's worth the money. The next thing is one that I already had tried years ago, but I retried it, and so I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts on it. So in my ColourPop mystery box, I got a pair of lashes, and they were in the style Queenie. I received them in my mystery box, and I pulled them out and I said, I've only ever tried ColourPop lashes once, and they were this exact style years ago. What are the chances? I hate them. Hate's a strong word, but I hate them. They are the most uncomfortable lashes to wear. The band is extremely, extremely thick, not pliable. The actual lashes look pretty, but it was so hard for the inner corners to stay glued down. No matter what I did, they would pop. And okay, that happens sometimes with lashes, but no matter what I did, they would not stay on my eyes. They would be popping because the actual band would not curve. It would just stay flat. And I had a really hard time trying to get it to work on my eye shape. So I don't suggest them. There are plenty of other lashes at that price point that are so good, I don't think they're worth it. And then the last product I want to talk about is another one that I expected to really like as well, and I was just let down. This is the NYX Smooth Whip Matte Lip Cream. I have mine in the shade Teddy Fluff. So the color is gorgeous, especially for fall, this like warm brown color. This is a liquid lipstick, straight up liquid lipstick, and I would say upon application, it's pretty similar to this ColourPop Luxe Liquid Lip one, where it's a little bit more on the moussey side, definitely not liquidy, but this one definitely completely dries down. The smell is probably one of the best smelling lip glosses or lip products I've ever smelled in my life. I'm not kidding. I want to. I'm this close to eating it. It smells like straight up buttercream frosting. Anyway, apart from the smell, I really didn't like this. It was everything I don't like in a liquid lipstick, like very, very, very drying, very drying. And I wore this one day. I don't know what I was doing. I must have been eating or drinking, and it started to come off, which if I wear liquid lipstick, the whole point of why I wear it is for longevity. Didn't have longevity. And then I went to go reapply this, and you cannot put a second layer on top. It got so thick and crusty and goopy. It was the weirdest thing. You have to literally completely take it off and reapply it if you are going to reapply it. It doesn't build on top of itself nicely at all. It's just too thick of a consistency, too dry of a consistency. It's just not cute. It's not cute. The smell is great though, and the color is great, but I definitely won't be using this again. Okay, and that is it for this speed reviews video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below letting me know your thoughts on any of these products. Have you tried them? Do you agree with my review? Do you have a different review? Let me know down in the comments below. I love hearing from you. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, both beauty and fashion videos, and I would love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.